Welcome to Murders and Minivans, where the coffee is cold, the kids are wild, and the crimes are absolutely unhinged. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tali. Let's talk murders, motherhood, and why we trust absolutely no one.
There's that joke, I think there's a meme about a good book would be a murder mystery, and it would be in the life story that people put in front of recipes online. Like, you know how you always just like jump to recipes? Wouldn't that be the funniest one? Which every time they post a recipe, they talked about how they murdered people, but nobody ever caught them because nobody reads that shit. I'm like, that would be the perfect book. That's so funny.
It's actually it is a funny meme.
Because never ever do I read those.
Yeah, no.
Don't tell me your life story. Just tell me how to make this pumpkin pie.
Oh my God. I know. I remember there was this one, I still use this meatball recipe. And it was before the jump to recipe.
Oh, no, then I move
existed.
on.
Yeah. And this woman told a story. Great meatball recipe. Like, I'll say that. But she told a story, and the Sundays that she would cook these fucking meatballs, and I was like, oh my God, just tell me how to make them.
So did you write out the recipe so you never have to see it again?
No, because now her site has jumped to recipe.
Ah, well, there you go.
But she still has a story on it. I'm like, what is this for?
Who reads that?
It's probably for like search engine optimization or something, but I'm like,
Maybe.
I mean, the amount of times I've made these meatballs,
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I don't need to search engine them anymore.
Oh my God. But yeah.
It is funny though, when I look up recipes, I always type in like the best.
Oh yeah.
Like it'll read it out for me.
Yeah.
I know that's not quite how the internet works, because they probably just put best chocolate chip cookie recipe
No, you know
in
what
their
you
title.
do? You go to ChatGPT and you say, find me the best reviewed with the most reviews or something like that. Like the highest reviewed blank recipe
Okay.
ever. Sometimes it gives me shitty ones, but it is giving accurate ones. If you type in chocolate chip recipe, mine is the best recipe.
Oh, well, I'm sure it is.
But if you type in chocolate chip recipe best with most reviews, you get the back of like the Nestle Toll House.
Yeah.
There's way too many flaws with that recipe. I know as a professional baker. It's an okay one. Oh, I really want a cookie.
You're really diving deep into this chocolate chip cookie story.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm sure you're very passionate about your chocolate chip cookies.
There's specific things that they need to have, and if a recipe doesn't have them, I think you're stupid.
Oh, okay. So do you refrigerate your dough?
Sometimes. It depends. If I'm just making them for the kids, no. If I'm making them for others and in my Christmas cookies, yes.
Yeah, it's almost Christmas cookie season.
I know. I'm very excited.
How are you feeling? Okay.
I'm so excited. Another thing that I hate, just because I want to keep this light, because this is a very dark one, I fucking hate browned butter.
Why? What's your beef with brown butter?
It doesn't add anything. And it dries out the dough. You need to use way too much butter. It doesn't make sense to me. I find no taste difference. It's a trend.
Okay, maybe.
It's, you know what? It's good in like a glaze or something where the taste is evident. But in something like a chocolate chip cookie,
you're not sold. No. Okay, good to know. Good to know. What about clarified butter? What are your stances on clarified butter?
Like ghee?
Yeah.
I dabbled with ghee when it was like trendy.
Yeah.
I think it was fine. Like I don't remember feeling strongly about it one way or the other.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Oh, it's good on popcorn.
Yes, because it doesn't make it soggy.
Yes, yeah. It's very good on popcorn, and I think I just like cooked with it when it was trendy. When like paleo was a big thing.
Yes. Okay, so before we get started, I did want to say that I am in no way demeaning anyone else's experience by what I share today. Trauma is real and it's heavy and it shapes our lives. And while our experiences might look completely different, your pain is not less than someone else's and it is not more. It just is. So I used to teach a meditation course to yoga teachers and anyone interested. And the first thing we talked about was trauma, because trauma so much shapes how we respond and how we show up in life. You may think your trauma is more trauma-y than other people's. You may belittle someone else's experience if they share with you. And the point of this today is to say trauma is subjective. And so you can't say that yours impacted you more, or that was a lesser incident than mine. My trauma is more trauma-y, is more strong. So, and then discuss some of the things that helped me along the way, some tools that came from personal practice, but also others from research and stories of people who have inspired me. So throughout this, I'm going to talk about 2 friends of mine who have shared their trauma, their experiences and stories, and built something out of it. Maybe one of them speaks to you, or maybe it gives you a new lens. So that is my hope. So when we talk about trauma is emotional and psychological response to a distressing event, something that overwhelms our ability to cope. It's not about how big the event looks from the outside. It's about how it lands in your body and mind. I recently wrote a Substack post. I had this article posted in Cold Lake Courier, so it is a newspaper on a military base, and it talks about my experience as the daughter of a veteran. Until I started putting pen to paper, I didn't realize how much it impacted my life and my ability to make decisions, but it impacts everything that I do and the way I show up. And so I just found that very interesting. I'd never taken the time to really parse it out. In my teenage years, I would use it as an excuse, but I never really thought of it as trauma. It was just shit.
Yeah. Common for teenagers, though.
Yeah, you're like, I need to pick a thing.
Yeah. I'm going to pick daddy issues.
Exactly.
Again, not belittling anyone.
Yes. That is how teens work, though.
Yeah, it is. I got to pick something to act out about. What is it going to be? This one.
Yes. Yeah.
But so if you're not familiar, some examples, and I'm obviously not going to go in and give everyone a definition because that's not what we need to talk about, the definition of every single trauma, nor is this a comprehensive list. So there's physical, natural disasters, accidents, war or combat, childhood abuse or neglect. And the list goes on. Sometimes it's not a single moment. It's a series of small betrayals or ongoing emotional neglect. Now, as I said, I wrote the piece about trauma and it cracked open things that I had long since buried. But then I realized I didn't want to just live in this rut. Do you know what I mean? I saw the impact that other people's trauma had on them, whether my family or out elsewhere. I wanted to break this cycle.
Yeah, because if you don't deal with it, your kids are.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stop it.
Yeah, it's like that heirloom china that your great grandma gave you, and then you're like, what am I going to do with this shit? It's the same thing, only it's emotional. You're like, I don't know.
It's in the corner right there.
Yeah, exactly. Mine, I end up taking it to the thrift store because I'm like, why would I then put this on my kids?
Yeah.
Like the guilt of this. I'm like, this means nothing to you. It meant nothing to me, but I'm going to hold on to it and make you take care of it.
Take your trauma to the thrift store.
Yeah.
Make it somebody else's problem.
There you go.
For $3.99.
Hashtag take your trauma to the thrift store.
TM.
Yeah. So how do we start transforming trauma? I thought I was always, as I've said before, better than everyone. I'm not, let's just be clear, but I like to think that I am. So I never thought I had a problem, but I definitely made it clear when I thought other people had a problem because of their shit. So it was interesting when this one came back to bite me. There are some tools that I started to work through, mainly, let's say, therapy. That one was a really good eye-opener.
It shows you stuff.
Yeah, like things come up, you're like, oh, I did not realize that was still an issue.
They have an insane way of asking questions. I don't want to be a therapist. I just want to know how you do that.
Yeah, how do you find the right questions to make you on this path?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they'll just ask you a question and then you're like, oh, this happened when I was 6.5 in the month of November. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, how did you crack me open so well?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Therapy is having a trained, non-judgmental voice walk beside you is invaluable. And I think it's worth noting too that just because it's the first therapist you get, it doesn't need to be the one you stick with. So if you find like you don't jive with someone, keep searching. There's a million therapists out there. I
will say this is probably like a toxic thing. I made my first therapist cry.
Wow.
And I was like, this feels really good. Thank you.
Did they fire you after that?
No. She apologized. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, why are you crying? No. She's like, I'm sorry, this is just very sad. And I was like telling her my childhood, like things that she had unlocked. And then I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So I'm not like because you gaslight yourself. You're like, am I overthinking this?
Yeah.
You know?
When I was doing social work, I was telling a story to a mutual friend of Neil's and mine, but he started crying as I was sharing a story about a social work client.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I guess that is the appropriate response. Like I had desensitized a bit from it, which I think was a coping mechanism, so I wouldn't be sad all the time. But when you say it and you see someone else's response, same thing. You're like, oh, shit, yeah.
That is sad, yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
I think like cops go through that too. And like
people
that I guess are more like open to the shitty side of life.
And I will say that's why I got out of it, because I never wanted to carry that all the time for my kids. So I think that was another awakening. Like, I need to deal with this now so that I don't carry this on.
Yeah.
My family suffers. The family I chose to make suffers.
Yeah, I agree.
Another one I did was journaling. This gives me like weird flashbacks of being in high school and like having a diary. So like maybe lock it down. Maybe like a nice document on a laptop.
I think, you know what? Write with a pencil.
There is something therapeutic about writing with a pen, or like the scratch of a pencil on a paper.
It's becoming a lost art. It's very odd. Like, Brian the other day was like writing a note, and it took him like 20 minutes to like write a sentence. I'm like, hello? Like, do you, because I take notes during work all the time, like pen and paper notes.
Yeah.
Like I go through like 6,000 notebooks. Yeah. Because that's how I retain information. And he's like, no, I only type Tally. Like, I don't.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, that's bad.
Yeah.
You write like a 5-year-old.
Neil, with like engineers, they write in all caps. I'm like, what?
That's how I knew it was him in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Because I worked for engineers. I'm like, Neil.
Yeah.
Because it's like they all have the same handwriting.
Yeah, they have to for some reason.
It's weird.
All their forms and stuff, I think, has to be in all caps.
Yeah.
But then teaching our kids to write, I'm like, you are no part of this.
Yeah.
You have just bananas writing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad. It's very clear, but it's very blocky. And then I have getting involved. So whether in advocacy, volunteering, or just building community, using your story for good can feel empowering. So I like this community piece because we've had this conversation for similar things, and just keeping like children and keeping your energy in your community kind of fosters strength. What are your thoughts?
I agree. And I think you'll find at the end of my story is like it's a horrible, horrible story, but something, I guess, I don't want to say like nice. I don't know what the like adjective is for it, but something positive in a way did come out of it.
Oh, well, good.
And like that's something that I find that happens with a lot of people like that go through trauma. I'm trying to think, like I remember a friend's mom had a stroke, and then it was very traumatic, and the recovery was pretty awful. And then she started doing art.
Ooh, that's my next one. Creative expression.
Yeah. It's a very like common thing.
Music, art, movement. These help process trauma when words fall short. So I found this with my writing too. So I thought I wanted to write, and I do write mainly science fiction and fantasy, but then I was dabbling with creative nonfiction. And so it's the truth with flair is how I think of it. So you kind of dramatize an event in your life, and then you weave the story, whether it's using sensory details, or I like to add like a rhythm, so almost a bit of poetry into it is interesting.
Oh, okay.
That's just the style that I choose to write in, and it feels quite therapeutic, I would say, when it has like rhythm and movement to it. That is how I've been able to process some things too. And even then, I told Neil, every time I write a creative nonfiction piece, I cry. So if he comes up where the kids are like, Mommy, what's going on? I'm sitting upstairs writing and crying.
Yeah. Well, it's probably like a good release, though.
I think so. Because some things even happened when I was younger, and you think you work through them. But as an adult, you're like, it has a totally different lens now. And so you, again, have to work through it when you thought you had it. But now as a parent or as an adult, you're like, oh, I see that differently now.
Especially as a parent. I feel like you view your trauma so differently.
Yeah. It's
very odd. Because like once I became a parent, I understood my parents less. Yeah. I was like, how could you? How could you have done these things? When the kids got a little bit older, okay, you left a country under horrible situations, you moved to a different country, left under horrible situations, and then moved and had to learn a new language, start literally from scratch. And then it was when P was the same age that this happened to me as a child. And I'm like, shit, that would be hard. I don't give them full grace either. That was hard, and I get how that would have been stressful, and I get that part, but you guys took that stress and you shit on us. Like, it was just like, hey, I'm stressed. I'm gonna ruin your fucking life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a step here that you didn't take. I understand. I have empathy for you that you went through that as a parent. You missed a step here. Yeah. You know?
Fair. Yeah, fair.
But yeah.
And then choosing to find meaning. So this doesn't mean you're grateful for the trauma, obviously. But it means that you decide what you do with it now and how you carry it. Some horrible, horrendous things happen to people, but I don't think your trauma gives you an excuse to be a shitty person or hurt other people. Yeah. Like, deal with your shit. You don't need to be a bad human. Something bad happened to you. Yeah, definitely. But there's no excuse.
There's lots of people who use it as a crutch.
Yes.
Like, to
and
fall
it shouldn't
back
be.
on.
Yeah. I think it really speaks to, and I'm really impressed and empowered by people who turn it into something else and don't let it be a crush, but kind of emboldens them, I guess.
I agree.
Like, makes them into a better person. So that leads me into my two people I want to talk about. So one woman who truly embodies this idea of transforming trauma into purpose is Blaze Hunter. So I should caveat this. These are both friends of mine. Drawing wisdom from her own trials, Blaze wrote a book for women struggling with doubt and self-worth. She talks about taboo topics like body image, infertility, and the internal battles we don't always share. Her book was a finalist in the Canadian Book Club Awards in the spirituality. And well, I know she's actually, she's a big deal. She's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's a real human.
She's a real person. I know her.
And wellness category. And in 2022, she represented Canada at a youth summit in Istanbul, advocating for women's reproductive rights. I know, this is where I get emotional. You can order it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Or at any bookstore, I believe. Her second book, Captain Communicator, How to Turn Signals into Superpowers, teaches people to reduce arguments and turn them into meaningful dialogue, heal internal wounds by rewriting our own stories, and speak the body's language and become better communicators. Blaze is not just an author. She's a movement builder, a founder of the WIN Awards, a reproductive health advocate, and someone who proves that your story, no matter how painful, can become your superpower. Yeah, she's quite an amazing human being.
Yeah, I did. I looked her up on Facebook, like when you sent the link.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't like read too much into her because I wanted like to hear your perspective. But yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, she helped found Footprints, it's called. So it's honoring infertility, mothers who've lost their children. She went through a number of struggles herself in her pregnancy journey, and now she's renowned, and she's just a really nice, supportive, wonderful human being. So she's taken all of this and turned it into something beautiful that helps people around the world. And she does go and speak. It's really fun because she's also quite theatrical. So she was actually a radio personality. So she comes out with a cape and a sword talking about empowering women. It's quite wonderful. And it stays with you.
Yeah.
Like, we kind of laugh at some of these things. Not her personally. She's a very cool human. But some of these theatrics are what also makes it stay with you.
Yeah.
And so you see it, and then she's a genuinely powerful human being, and it kind of like takes you a step back. You're like, oh, that's cool. Real people can do cool things.
Yes.
So it's also kind of neat seeing I was friends with you and you're a real human being.
Like,
and you
doing the damn thing.
Yeah, and now you're doing amazing things, helping everyone. And so it's just very cool.
That is really cool.
So I have one other one. So another incredible example of turning trauma into power is my friend Kate Redford, also known as Kate LaLanne, and the founder of Kate LaLanne Fitness. We will also link to all their info if you're interested, because they are Canadian women. After experiencing the loss of her baby through stillbirth, Kate faced a kind of grief that shakes you to your core, the kind that hits both physically and emotionally, but she didn't stay silent. Instead, she used her pain as fuel to build something that could help other women heal. From this, she created an 8-week postnatal program designed specifically for women recovering physically and emotionally after childbirth, including those who've experienced pregnancy loss. So Kate says, you hurt from the inside out. Depression can hit hard. That's why we need to talk about it. And she has, bravely. Now she specializes in remote health and wellness coaching, small group, and in-person training. Her coaching blends science-based fitness with personal support, helping everyone rebuild strength with consistency and confidence, one day at a time. She reminds her clients that success isn't about doing it all at once. It's about showing up, even in grief, even in fear. Her mission is to help women turn lumps into strength, to rebuild, to reclaim, and to do it with compassion, humor, and realness. They just live in Red Deer.
Oh.
Yeah, so her husband met my husband when they were Fort McMurray together. So it's really cool. Okay. And did you look her up too? The bright purple hair. She's fun. Oh, she's a really cool human being. And I actually reached out to her too after I had E. My biggest struggle, I think, in pregnancy is just that disconnect you feel from your body.
Yeah.
Like I remember coming home and I rolled onto my side and my belly skin just like shifted with me.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't feel like me anymore. So I reached out to her and she was able through distance training to send me a program and how-to videos, and she keeps you accountable. So she makes sure she Skypes with you once a week or twice, whatever you set up on your schedule. And she will work around your schedule. So she is quite, and she was on it. She had instructional videos. She had the steps. These are the moves you'll do for this amount of time, this many sets. It was very easy to follow. And now she has a website, and she does a lot of stuff, training in her home too, like small group fitness stuff too.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm. You do feel out of your body. Like I don't think I felt like myself. Wow, it took longer to see, honestly.
Yeah. Well, your second baby, it does more again. I feel like it's 2 years. Someone said 2 years. And that one seems right to me until you feel totally in your own body again.
Yeah. I would say like it probably took like 3.
Yeah.
With C. Like it took, I think women aren't given enough credit or grace, I think, when having a baby. Because that shit rocks your world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I just, every time somebody has a baby in my life, I'm like, I'm literally always an open door for you. Like, at any time, if you want to talk, like, please, like, I've been there. And I'll just listen. Because, like, that is hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah. And having one is tricky, but I feel like 1 to 2 was also a huge step. And it was a game changer. Especially because sometimes you do all the same stuff and they come out total opposites.
It's wild.
Yeah. Like, I'm quite sure I did everything the same.
Yeah.
But you are the opposite of your brother.
It is. And it's like, it's dumb when you think about it. And it's dumb for people who don't have kids. But like, I look at my 2 kids and you look at your 2 kids. And this is like a universal experience. But you're like, how the hell are you so different? Like, you came from my body.
Yeah.
You guys came from the same place.
And it is often comical because it's something as easy as, do you want A or B? And each of them will pick something separate.
Yes.
They can never, I think they do. I bet you they plan it and they're like, we have to do opposite just to further push mommy off her rocker.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty confident.
Oh, yeah. Today, I don't remember what they did. One of them did like small, but I had enough at that point. And I looked at the 2 of them. I'm like, I think the 2 of you are planning to make me lose it today because I don't know. Because I'm very, like, I speak to my kids like what I'm thinking, which maybe isn't good. Like, I'll obviously censor it a little bit, but I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. And I don't say that, but I'm like, what is happening here today? Like, why? Like, and then even with P today, she was really moody when we left the birthday party. Very moody, like, kept walking ahead of us and, like, giving me one-word answers because suddenly she's 17. And I was like, we took Hank for a walk, and I was like, what is the problem? Like, I can't help you if you don't verbalize to me what is bothering you. And she's like, I didn't like that we left the birthday party that early. And I was like, I told you before, we're going to leave at 4. S and E are probably going to arrive late. Sorry. Yeah. No, I didn't say that.
No, it's okay. Yeah, we had to. Yeah, we always. That was always the plan. We were going to be late.
And so I said, like, I don't know what time they're going to arrive, but they're going to be late. You're going to be upset when we leave. So I'm telling you this now because I knew it, and I kept repeating it throughout. I was almost annoying. So then I'm like, but I told you this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's okay to be sad. It's okay. Like, I get it. You want to see your friends. This isn't news.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, next time, just talk to me about it instead of being
mad at me all day.
17.
Yeah. Just, when we talk about trauma, we're talking about something many people carry in silence. But stories like Blaze's and Kate's remind us that we can feel broken and still powerful. We can be terrified and still move forward. We can hurt and still heal. So success after trauma isn't about erasing the past. We are not trying to sugarcoat anything or demean anyone's experience, but it's about using it and shaping it into something new. You are not what happened to you. I'll say that one more time for the kids in the back. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to do next.
Well, so at the end of the story, you will see how what Stephanie talked about earlier will tie into this and how you use something awful and tragic to better the world. Excellent. Because it needs it. Another thing that I will say is maybe I'm soft because I'm a mom. I'm not going to touch on what happened to the victims too much. Number one, there's actually no concrete evidence of what happened to the victims. There's speculation. I'll touch on speculation for the adult victims. I will not be talking about what happened to the child because this one ruined me. Mm-hmm. And it will ruin you.
Well, I appreciate you censoring it.
So, okay. Today's story takes us to rural Alberta. The small farm is near Airdrie and into the life of a man whose quiet isolation turned into obsession, resentment, and evil. Douglas Garland was born in Alberta in 1959. I think he was born in North Calgary. He was the oldest of 3 children. His parents were Archie and Doreen. Not much is known about his third sibling, but his sister Patty go on to play a very large role in this story. His mom, Doreen, described Douglas as being very socially isolated and someone who didn't have many friends and just preferred being alone. He was very smart though. He ended up attending Camrose Lutheran College where he worked toward a science degree, and then later in the mid-1980s he was admitted to the first year of medical school at the U of A.
Wow.
University of Alberta for
non-Albertans.
Yeah, for those not from here.
This is scarily local.
I know. That's why I'm like, you're not sensing the familiarity here. And I'm like, oh, she doesn't know. So he didn't finish medical school. Something had happened. His family referred to it as a breakdown. Media reports during his later trial suggested that he had actually been kicked out for cheating. He was caught just after being voted class president, which is weird because he was very socially isolated. So what happened here to get you to be class president?
Yeah.
You know? There were also rumors that he had faced disciplinary issues at the university, but that came from coverage of the trial rather than any actual, verifiable records. Between 1988 and 1999, Garland was arrested 3 times. Whoa. In 1992, at the age of 33, he was caught running a meth lab on his parents' farm. While he was out on bail, he fled to British Columbia and lived there for 7 years under a fake name, Matthew Kemper Hartley, and that was the identity of a teenager who had died in a car crash in 1980.
Wow. Ruthless.
God, it gets so much worse. Garland even collected employment insurance benefits under his name. In 2000, he was arrested again, and he served 6 months in jail for drug trafficking and identity theft. Psychologists would later say that his mental health was responsible for his crimes. Now we're going to get into the Liknes family. And I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that right. Everywhere that I looked for pronunciation, this was the way to pronounce it, but I'm sorry if I'm not. Alvin Liknes was born on June 22nd, 1948 in Coronation, Alberta. He was an inventor and an athlete, the kind of guy who just loved adventure. He skied downhill, cross-country, and on water. He took flying lessons.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's impressive.
Very impressive. He jumped out of a plane, very active. He played hockey and squash, and he was described by everybody who knew him as kind, quick-witted, loyal, and wise. His wife, Catherine, was born on April 5th, 1961 in Calgary, and she was the type of person who was always there for her family no matter what. People say that she protected them very fiercely. She was very fierce with her.
That.
Yeah.
I respect a good mama bear.
Mm-hmm. Also, she's an Aries, and as an Aries mom, I'm like,
spot on.
She had web design certificates, graphic design, online publishing, and she even had her real estate license. She was just
both of them were really
go-getters.
Yeah.
She loved to cook, craft, and dance, and she just kind of accepted people for who they were. She was kind of remembered as somebody who wasn't overly judgmental of people, which is nice. The world needs more of that.
Yes.
Jennifer was Kathy's daughter, so Alvin would have been Jennifer's stepdad. Alvin and Kathy were actually preparing to retire. They were in the middle of getting ready to split their time between their new home, Edmonton, and Mexico, where they owned a condo.
Wonderful.
So Jennifer and her husband, Rod, had 3 boys. Their middle child, Nathan, was 5 years old. He was bright, friendly, and loved dressing up as superheroes. So much so that his mom actually said that she never had to buy him regular clothes.
I really don't like where this is going already.
So she just stocked up on costumes for him. Reverting back here a little bit more, back in 2007, Alvin, as most people were doing at this time, were dabbling in junior oil and gas exploration. He ended up hiring Douglas Garland to work on a pump that could separate water from oil. Alvin eventually filed a patent on the pump.
Wow.
but it never made any money.
Oh.
Douglas still, though, felt slighted by this. He thought that he deserved the credit of this invention. And his sister Patty would later testify that Douglas often spoke bitterly about Alvin, and the resentment never really went away.
Oh. He didn't deal with his shit, apparently.
Exactly. Yeah. So Patty herself, remember this is Douglas's sister, she was in a common law relationship with Alvin's son, Alan.
Oh.
Which meant that she was both close to Alvin and Kathy and close to Jennifer, so Kathy's daughter from a previous relationship. By June of 2014, they had just finalized the sale of their Calgary home, and they were holding an estate sale on June 29th to get rid of as many belongings as possible before their retirement move between Edmonton and Mexico. Jennifer was actually at the estate sale with her youngest son, Max. She decided to spend the night afterwards, but Max wasn't sleeping well, so she ended up leaving around 10:45 p.m. She left her middle son, Nathan, to spend the night with his grandparents and said that she'd be back in the morning.
Uh-oh.
When she came back the next morning, June 30th, with Max, she walked into a nightmare. The home, which was actually the one that she grew up in, was covered in blood. There was blood in the primary bedroom where Alvin was sleeping by himself, in the guest bedroom where Kathy and Nathan had been, and even in the kitchen on the walls. Jennifer called her husband and said, quote, "My family's been murdered and he took the bodies." And then she called 911.
Whoa, the bodies were gone? There's just blood? Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
I'll never be able to understand how she feels. I can only imagine.
No, there's no...
I want to understand the victims as much as possible. So I get to like a meditative state, I would say, and just be like, I'm walking in, this is what I see. And to try and envision how they could possibly feel.
I'm quite confident I would freeze.
Yeah, how? This woman amazes me. In the best way.
I would be numb with fear, sure.
Yes, you'll definitely see. So she does great throughout this, I will say.
Excellent.
So investigators arrived quickly. At first, there was desperate hope that Nathan just might be hiding somewhere because obviously, like a 5-year-old, if he's seeing something tragic, maybe he's just hiding. Unfortunately, after a full search of the house, that hope was gone. They issued an Amber Alert for Nathan, and a massive search began immediately for all 3 victims. Just a side note here, you obviously were not in Calgary at the time, but I remember this vividly. People were holding memorials and rallies and stuff for him, and they were releasing green balloons. Oh. But yeah, so police collected DNA from both of the Liknes and O'Brien homes, and they interviewed more than 200 people who had attended the estate sale.
Wow.
At the scene, police found Alvin's tooth and blood on a 45-pound dumbbell in the garage that matched all 3 victims.
Oh my gosh.
On July 2nd, Jennifer and Rod went on TV and made a tearful plea for their son. Again, I remember this extremely vividly, and it was awful. Jennifer said, quote, "Nathan, I need you to hear my voice right now, and I need you to know that Mommy and Daddy love you more than anything in the world. Stay strong, Nathan. We know you are our superhero, and just need you to stay strong, and we are going to see you," unquote.
Ugh, no.
On July 3rd, Synovus Energy, a company where Rod worked, might still work, contacted police and offered to finance a ransom for any demand of... I know! I did not hear about this when I was... Because I followed this case closely. I've been a true crime...
It's quite local.
Yeah. And I remember I had Twitter at the time, and I was following live... I was following live tweets from Nancy Hicks, a local resident.
Yeah. Ooh, cool.
I knew almost everything about this case, but this part about Synovus Energy, I did not know.
Interesting.
And that is a fantastic thing to do for your employee. That blew my mind. By July 4th, police had announced that they were searching for a late 1980s or early 1990s green Ford F-150 pickup truck that had been seen driving repeatedly in the area.
Oh.
So surveillance footage had showed the truck leaving the neighborhood with a white object in its bed on the night of June 30th. The footage arriving to the area, the truck bed was empty. Patty, Douglas's sister, had arrived at her parents' farm from her home in Evansburg, along with Alan, her spouse, to help with the search. Patty actually had her son go out and take photos of the vehicle, like the Ford that Douglas drove.
Oh, okay.
And send them to Alan, who ended up bringing them to police.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know why that set of events happened.
Yeah.
I think maybe it would have been more suspicious if Patty had taken. Like, I think just my interpretation, this is not facts. She probably just didn't want Douglas to know that she was onto him.
Yeah.
By the end of that first day, investigators had narrowed their list of suspects to 6. They included a local sex offender, a man who had once shot Alvin's daughter years later,
Atlanta.
and a former house guest of the Liknes family.
What world is this?
2 disgruntled former employees of Alvin's and Douglas Garland. Police worked down the list and between
From hundreds.
yeah, in the estate sale that day.
Hundreds of people. Yeah, I've been to an
cow.
estate sale. There's hundreds of people there.
Exactly, yeah. So they narrowed it down. Like, the police work here was phenomenal.
Yeah.
They went down the list, like, after they narrowed it down, and then between alibis or where people were, connections to the family, only Douglas remained.
Okay.
Police had issued a search of the Garland family farm north of Airdrie. Because there was still a belief that victims might be alive, they were actually granted special authorization to search without a warrant. But they could only look in certain areas where the victims might be hidden. So they couldn't actually search the entire property.
Yeah, they're just places you could store bodies kind of thing, or lock people.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
No.
So, interesting.
With my 0 experience in law, I didn't know that was a thing either.
I know, I'm like, oh, I know.
That's amazing, law.
When I read something, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. So, unfortunately, nobody was found that day. But police did find a duffel bag containing handcuffs, a large knife, and a billy club. That was later referred to as Douglas's capture kit.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they couldn't arrest him for anything yet. However, investigators ended up arresting Douglas for identity theft after finding old documents relating to his previous false identity in the house.
Oh, well, that's kind of nice. They were able to hold him.
I love when that happens.
Yeah.
When the police kind of know and then like find something else.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
By now, the investigation had grown enormous. There was over 300 officers from Calgary Police, RCMP, Canada Border Services,
Wow.
Passport Canada, and even the U.S. Department of Homeland Security were involved. They searched landfills, farmers' fields, and SLOGH.
Yeah, it's a slough.
Sloughs.
It's like a
Across
swamp.
Alberta. So why border services would have been involved, or like any other national security agencies, like I mentioned before, so they could have issued travel restrictions or border alerts, like in case Douglas was maybe wanting to flee. The CBSA databases would include cross-border and historical movements.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot here. Police also were combing through tons of evidence on Garland's farm, and if any of those materials were imported, restricted, or crossed customs, CBSA would have reason to track their origin.
There you go.
Typically, major homicides with possible organized crime or international connections get funneled through CBSA, CSIS, and RCMP. Not to say that he was, but they were checking to see if he was on border watch lists or anything like that, and then just standard due diligence. So they wouldn't have played like a direct role in the case here. I was curious about that. Like, I've heard of like police, CSIS, like sometimes why border
security. Yeah, that's interesting.
On July 11th, Garland ended up being released on $750 bail.
What?
And ordered not to return to the Airdrie property. They said you can basically stay in a hotel or shelter, but don't go back. 2 nights later,
Guess who went back?
on July 13th and 14th, he was unaware that police were tracking him, which blows my mind.
Yeah, come on. It's a cop car.
I feel like people are tracking you as a regular person.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be tracking you if you're a fucking criminal.
Yeah.
And they
Pretty
suspect
good
you.
odds.
He went back home.
I'm sure he did.
A police helicopter spotted him crawling through thick bush on the farm at 1:30 a.m. I remember the video of it being released, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it was just so painfully obvious. Yeah. I'm glad criminals are dumb.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you said that last episode too. And every time I'm like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, like, I am glad. But I'm like, it's frustrating to like read this and be like, how stupid are you? Honestly, how dumb do you have to be? This man was very dumb.
Yeah, he obviously felt he needed to go back real bad for something.
Exactly. Think this through.
But thank you for not.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Even though no bodies had been found, police had believed that they had enough evidence to charge him. On July 14th, Douglas Garland was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree murder. The Amber Alert, the longest one ever issued in Canada, was officially called off.
Oh.
Investigators now had reasonable grounds to believe that Alvin, Kathy, and Nathan were deceased. Mm-hmm. By January and February 2015, jurors had heard the disturbing evidence that police had found during a more thorough search of the Garland farm on July 5th, 2014. There was a burn barrel that was still smoldering when officers arrived.
That been days. That's days later.
Like weeks. Yeah.
Oh, ew. So
Once,
you kept that sucker burning.
Oh, yeah. Once it was put out, they found a bone, a tooth, a pair of glasses, 17 tooth fragments, bits of bone, jewelry, a button, and a piece of a shackle. It took investigators 550 hours to sift through 120 gallons of ash. The police work here is incredible.
Yeah.
They found a shoebox with bloody footprints that matched those from the Liknes home. They found chemical gloves, a rain suit, full-body Tyvek suits, women's...
Holy moly.
Yeah, women's size 13 shoes, 2 blonde wigs, and a straitjacket. They found 50 adult diapers that had been stolen from a local hospital. They also found gun parts, ammunition, silencers, and a charred circuit board from a set of car keys that matched the Liknes home. They found lock-picking tools, padlocks, and blank keys, a half-empty bottle of chloroform, insulin RNase, which is a chemical that breaks down DNA. I need to know what that's used for. That's not murder. Just a side note. Blood clotting powder and 2 empty 50-liter containers of liquid nitrogen.
Jeez.
This is a lot here. They found a dozen pair of handcuffs, one of them child-sized, along with leather restraints and whips, knives, a meat hook, and a large hacksaw, all containing DNA from the victims. Then they found the books. They found 2 books, Be Your Own Undertaker, How to Dispose of a Dead Body, and Silent Death.
These books exist?
They exist. I will not be sharing them on our Instagram.
No, I'm not going to Google them. I don't want to be on a list.
I'm probably already on a list.
Yeah.
Based on...
your research.
I don't want...
I get the lighter side of this podcast.
Yeah.
You're on those lists. Don't you dare put my name down there.
Well, too late. A hard drive containing 112 gigabytes of files revealed just how disturbed Douglas actually was. It included an autopsy manual, photos of men and women in adult diapers and restraints that were sexual in nature, and photos of Kathy.
Ew.
He had documents about Alvin's patents and business dealings, and a folder named Gore, with 87 images of dead and dismembered body parts. His search history included things like most painful torture, human dissection and bone grinder, blood removal solution, and searches about the Liknes estate sale and the kind of locks that the Liknes home used.
This is thoroughly researched.
I remember the thing about the locks specifically because he had actually gotten the lock manual for the lock that they had, and he had found a way to get through it without alerting anything. And it was like a guy from the company. What is the company that makes those locks? And they're like everywhere. It's on the tip of my tongue. But anyways,
I look at it all the time.
Yeah,
like Weiss.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Okay.
And this guy had to be flown into Calgary to testify for this.
Wow.
To testify about how he theorized Douglas got into the home with the manual and everything.
Wow.
Then came the most damning evidence of all. On July 1st, 2014, purely by coincidence, a small plane had flown over the Garland farm for surveying purposes. At 9:23 a.m., the camera on board took 2 photos. In them, you see 3 bodies lying face down. They theorized by the size of the bodies that it was 2 adults and 1 child who was curled up on his side. The next day, the same plane flew over again, completely by chance, and the bodies were gone. Then when they processed the photos, they saw. Yeah. And then they had forwarded to police. In the end, Douglas Garland pleaded not guilty and showed no remorse.
Wow.
He has been sentenced to 3 life sentences with no chance of parole. And Crown Prosecutor Shane Parker said, quote, "These acts display a character of evil and you cannot rehabilitate evil."
No, that's fair. Yeah, I agree.
So it's never actually been cemented what he did or how he did it. The overall theory is that he went under disguise with the blonde wig and the women's shoes that were in size 13, his size, and he went undercover at the estate sale to, like, I guess, scope out the home, who was there, that kind of thing. Again, like with the locks, broke into the home, and then, based on the evidence, most likely tortured Alvin and Kathy.
That's bananas. To have that level of hatred for someone. I just don't understand that level of crazy.
Why the boy?
Yeah.
What?
No, you have to be a special kind of evil.
Big time. And I'm like, what? When you're thinking about this as a murderer, what is a 5-year-old gonna say?
Yeah.
First of all, you clearly were not good at hiding evidence. Or, you know, like hiding literally anything. That wouldn't have been like the end all be all. You could have let this boy live. You know, you could have let everybody live, really, but the 5-year-old boy, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me here. Yeah,
it's pretty menacing. Like, you're gonna get caught. I feel like at that point, you know, you're gonna get caught, right? So, from like that level of planning, it was never about hiding it. It was, obviously there were some like dark fantasies going on here. Just let the kid see you. Who cares?
Well, the other thing too, and I can't find anything that like corroborated it. I just saw it in like certain things, and I don't know actually how close Douglas and Alvin were. I assume close based on how their families were intertwined. Nathan had called Doug like Uncle Doug. Again, I don't know if this is corroborated, like, so forgive me if that's incorrect. But what the fuck?
Do you not think there were hints of his like crazy though? Do you think they're just like, oh, that's crazy, so-and-so?
Yeah, I think it's just like one of those things that like you...
Obviously no one thinks it's that insane.
No. Like, I think they must have had some sort of hint that he was unhappy about it. But if I put myself in Alvin and Kathy's shoes, I'd be like, well, it is what it is. He could be upset, and I would just stop thinking about it because they did nothing wrong. Yeah. They did nothing wrong. Verbalize about what you're upset about. Have a conversation. I don't know if they did. I have no idea the history. What an asinine thing to do this. I think anything, honestly, is an asinine thing to do this over.
But I also feel like I have a great confidence in internet censorship, I guess. How was he not flagged multiple times and checked up? I feel like now maybe they've learned from this. There must be keywords that you use together that they'd be like, we gotcha. Or at least let's keep an eye on this psychopath.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they narrowed him down so quickly. I don't know. Like,
I have no idea. I like to think that they're much smarter than me when it comes to computers.
I would like to think that everybody has a secret agent that's assigned to them.
Yes, keep us in line.
Yeah, and monitors our
like
internet
maybe not.
activity.
Maybe let's not get like 1984 on everyone. But to a point, could you watch The Psychopaths, please?
I agree.
Like, I write certain scenes sometimes and I need help, even just like cleaning up my grammar. Or I was trying to write a medical scene and I'm like, and it wasn't a murder one. Like, I'd like to be clear here. Yeah. It was just a pretty simple routine procedure. And I was like, what are the steps for this? And when I hit enter, am I now on a list?
Well, the thing is about like you and I is like we could very obviously trace it back to be like, oh, yeah, you're concerned about it. Like, I have a podcast.
Yes. Yeah. It is very, I was writing a scene. I write fantasy. Like, I don't know these things.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've heard of people in the States being visited. So I don't know. Maybe. But again, if they're seeing that, they can probably see that you're writing about.
Yeah, I feel like they'd look for themes or keywords. And if there's too many that line up, sure, interview me. I'm not your guy you're looking for. But sure.
Yeah.
You can talk to me if you want.
Be cool material for the podcast.
It would be. But you'll see very clearly that I am not a threat.
Yeah. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So in the aftermath, Jennifer and Rod O'Brien established the Nathan O'Brien's Children Foundation, a privately funded charity created in memory of their son to carry on his kindness and compassion. The foundation supports disadvantaged children through grants to local charities, helping them live, hope, and pursue their dreams. Past projects have included building an indoor playground, holding annual sports events, and organizing food drives. A man named, I'm going to not say this correctly, a man named William Nestler from North Carolina was so moved by Nathan's story that he donated $1 million and helped found the foundation. Each year, Jennifer and Rod donate the interest from that million to a selected charity.
That's wonderful.
Nathan would be 17 years old today.
Oh.
Sorry for ruining everybody's day, but I do suggest sharing the foundation.
Yes. Spread some good.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. I think Jennifer here is very impressive.
Yeah, honor the memory.
She was very strong, I feel, throughout here. I don't know her, obviously. I'm just speculating. But
this
just
could have
from what
taken
I've
a
read.
very dark turn, too.
It could have,
It would
yeah.
be extremely difficult to go through something like this. Obviously, it's unimaginable. But then to go ahead and do something positive with it is just astounding.
I agree. I think the O'Briens did a phenomenal job here. They did a great job of honoring their son. Jennifer lost her son, her stepdad, and her mom in one day.
Do you think at any point you would not want the details?
I don't know. She sat in court and she had openly wept, and I think she had to leave at one point because it got too hard.
Yeah.
Because they had to talk about the evidence. And I've left a lot of stuff out here about what was likely done, like the details.
And I
because
appreciate it. I'd like
you
to
don't
sleep
need to
tonight.
know. Yeah, and like you don't need to know the horrific things that happen to a 5-year-old.
No, I don't need to know the
Nope.
levels of torture. Nope. No, thank you.
And that's the thing.
It helps no one.
On this podcast, I really want to work on like focusing on the victims here, because often with true crime, I've noticed that the victims fall wayside.
Yeah, and they like dramatize and hype up.
The suspects.
Yeah, suspects. Yeah. You dramatize it and hype them up, and so it's their legacies that you remember, but it's not the victims. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it's important to celebrate the survivors, but honor the victims.
Jennifer and Nathan, I think, are the biggest heroes here. Jennifer could have been there.
Yeah, and she
She-
saved one child, which would be so hard too.
I just, and when you
amazing.
think back to like the fact that you left that night, to me, she's a hero. Jennifer and Rod and Nathan. Patty too, Douglas's sister. Good for you.
Wow.
I don't know their relationship, but that couldn't have been easy to implode your family like that. But the whole family testified against Douglas. Like, it was pretty obvious from who he was as a child that he was very mentally deranged to allow to this one weird slight.
Yeah.
It's not even a big deal. Like, I made no money.
Yeah.
It's not like you're missing out on millions of dollars. You got no credit. I have a hard time understanding why people do things. I think this is why true crime perplexes me so much.
I try to see the steps, but I can never put myself in those steps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can see what led to this in pieces, but I still don't get it. Like, I
No.
don't get the switch sometimes.
And like, what do people not think through things?
No, I don't think so. I think that's why a lot of them get caught, because it's like acts of passion or revenge or...
Yeah, because it's
something.
like he very clearly planned this out, though. You have to be some sort of level of narcissist to think that you can get away with something like this.
Yes.
Because there's a connection, any connection to anybody. Like, you would be investigated. If you have a mean comment on somebody's Facebook 15 years ago, you can be investigated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Any sort of link. What level of narcissism do you have to think that you're not going to get caught here? That's my tangent here, but thank you for listening.
And use your shit for good, not evil.
Yes, I agree. Funner case next time. Bye.
Bye.